welcome back to Alex Race Chat here, speaking about Formula One. Formula One fans, today we're going to do a dive into the Austrian Grand Prix, a showdown that shook the standings and left Red Bull reeling. And today we're going to be talking about our winners and losers from this Austrian Grand Prix that we just had. And let's start off talking about our winners for this Austrian Grand Prix. First, let's talk about Lando Norris and McLaren in general. But let's talk about Lando, the actual race winner for this race. Norris had a horrible weekend back in Canada, a DNF, by crashing into his teammate. And he came back in style. He claimed pole by 0.5 of a second and holding off Piastri during the entire race, and taking his third victory of the 2025 season. And McLaren surged super well this weekend with a dominant 1-2 finish for this Grand Prix and a masterclass of their pace and strategy during this weekend. And now let's move on to our next winner, Oscar Piastri. Like we're talking about, he got second place like we saw in the podium picture, and he was pushing super hard on fresh tires. He even apologized on the radio for the tense turn 4 lockup he had, and that's a signature of maturity from our Australian driver. And our third winner would be Ferrari with Leclerc and Hamilton. They both did super well, a 3-4 finish in this Grand Prix. They earned a morale-boosting podium with Leclerc, and Hamilton actually matched his season best with P4 and called it mega process this weekend. And our other winners for this Grand Prix would be Steak Sauber. They did super well this Grand Prix weekend. They both cars got points. Gabriel Bortoleto got 8th and Nico Hulkenberg got 9th. Some good finishes. Actually, that's one of my predictions for this weekend. I got it correct. And yeah, I'm super glad for them. Bortoleto's first points, and that was a very nice weekend for them. And our final winner for this Grand Prix weekend, my personal last winner, would be Liam Lawson. This is his highest position he's ever gotten in his history in the sport, P6. I'm happy for him after the morale lowering demotion that he had at the beginning of the season. He's doing well. Yeah, that's my final winner. And let's talk about our losers for this Grand Prix weekend. Now let's talk about Max Verstappen and Red Bull in general. It was a disastrous weekend for them. Nightmare, we could say, for Red Bull. And Verstappen had a lap 1 crash with Kimi Antonelli to turn 3, which Antonelli was trying to hold for position and just locked up, and Verstappen was in the way. And both of them ended up DNFing for this race, and it ended his 31 race scoring streak. Like we just mentioned, Kimi Antonelli is their second loser. He, like we talked, he was defending for a position. He locked up, then contacted Verstappen, and for the next race, because of this, he's gonna have a 3-place grid drop penalty. And our third loser is Yuki Tsunoda. Like we were talking about, Red Bull in general, we're having a very, very, very bad weekend here at their home race with Yuki Tsunoda. He finished dead last and received a 10-second penalty for colliding with Alpine's Franco Colapinto, and it's a horrible day for the Austrian team. And our honorable mention for our loser, we have Williams. Carlos Sainz didn't even start the race actually, and Albon had difficulties during the race and he had to retire, so no points for the team. And what does this race mean for the current championship standings? Well, McLaren extend their advantage to the field, and Piastri actually leads Norris by 15 points, just like we were talking about earlier. And Verstappen trails them by 61 points. I feel like, sadly, Verstappen isn't going to win this championship. It would be amazing to get, for him to have his 5th title, but it is what it is. And Christian Horner calls a McLaren a two-horse race. And the next race on the calendar we have is Silverstone, which is Lando Norris and a whole lot of other drivers' home race actually. Let's see if Lando Norris can actually win at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys like and subscribe and comment for any video ideas in the comment section down below. And peace out.